Hello again, everyone, and welcome into our 2023 Miami football position breakdowns. I'm Steve Baker, the voice of the Red Hawks. Head coach Chuck Martin joins us, and today talking about the quarterback room for the Miami Red Hawks. And Coach, before we talk about the players, let's talk about former player, now assistant coach Gus Ragland, and what he has brought to the football team. Obviously, when he played here, he was coached by Coach Kaler, so I'm sure there's a lot of similarities in the quarterback room, but having that experience at on a Miami football team, I think is invaluable for the guys that are out there playing and learning from him.
Yeah, it's exciting for me to have Gus back. Obviously, lose a really good friend of mine, Coach Kaler, got an opportunity to go to Minnesota. Great thing for him, but obviously you miss him. And I was like, my son Max, I was like, I'm going to miss Eric. And I'm like, yeah, but we'll hire another good guy. And then we hired Gus, and it's like, okay,
we're good.
we miss Eric, but we like Gus. Like, that's what I'm always saying. It's like it's good seeing you're leaving. There's a good freshman coming in, just the way it is. But then you get a kid that's my first ever recruit here, which makes it special, and certainly was instrumental in helping us turn the worst Division I program into the most consistently top-end MAC school there is. So, and Gus was here through the hard years, those first couple years we were here when it wasn't much fun, and Gus was even major part of year 3 coming back from his ACL 6 weeks in and helping us win our last 6 games that year. And then went to Notre Dame, got some really good experience under Coach Kelly and the staff there, and Tommy Rees, who's the new OC at Alabama. And again, great for any young coach to get out of his comfort zone, go learn different things at a different school, at a different level, and then come back here and bring some of that experience that, like you said, the transition's been good for the quarterbacks because he played for Coach Kaler and believed in Coach Kaler, and Coach Kaler made him the thrower he was. So all the drills are very similar because he did all those drills and he believes in them because he wasn't a great thrower in high school and became a pretty dang good thrower here. So that's nice, but he's also bringing some new stuff that he also learned at Notre Dame. So, and then he's a Red Hawk through and through. He's got a degree from Miami University. He played football on the field. He knows what it's like, and he knows, don't complain because things are a lot better now than they used to be. So it's awesome having him back, and he's done a great job, and the kids have really enjoyed the transition being a little smoother, like you said, because he played for Coach Kaler, and a lot of the things that he's coaching are very similar.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, the players, great to have Brett Gabbert back as your starter coach. Talked with him at Media Day, and after injury at Kentucky last season, asked him if he was as healthy as he's been in a while. He says he's as healthy as he's been since high school and ready to go. And he and Avion give you the most experienced 1-2 punch in the MAC right now.
And again, just like as we started talking about offensive line, and we started talking about depth of defensive line, and we got a lot of offensive linemen that can play. We got a lot of defensive linemen that can play. And it just continues with the quarterback. This is the deepest this room's ever been, and it starts with Gabbert and all his game experience, and he's been a starter since 19. So just having a starter, that experience that's played as much football as he's played at such a high level for us, okay, that's wonderful. Okay, then you got Avion back, where this time last year, Avion never played a game. Right. Well, Avion played in a ton of games last year and grew and grew and grew as the season went on, and is still growing. Grew through this spring and grew through this summer. But having a backup like last year when we brought him out to Robert Morris, we had no idea, and he had no idea, where now your backup has a lot of game experience, and you're really confident in a lot of things he can do. Then we've added Maddox Kopp, who's a transfer from Colorado, and we're still trying to get him eligible with this transfer deal, and I think it'll go through the Colorado disaster that Deion created for all these kids when he told them all to leave, so I'm hopeful that this gets. But Maddox Kopp is a really talented guy, and he was here in January, he had a really nice spring. He's an awesome kid that's really fitting in. He's a leader. He's a super high-end talented Power 5 player. He started at the end of the year for Colorado in the Pac-12. So now you add him to the mix, all right? I'm really pleased with Henry Hessen, who's never even being talked about anymore. Right. He was our third a year ago. He's been our fourth this spring. But Henry's really prepared incredibly this offseason. He didn't get a lot of reps at all in spring, but he's throwing the ball. I watched him throw this summer. He's throwing the ball, and he has more command of our offense. So I think we go 4 deep at quarterback, and the quarterback room doesn't even end there, because then I have my assistant coaches, and I know they're quarterbacks, and I know they practice and do everything the kids do. But you got Tarpey, and you got Orrin Edwards, and even Matt McLeod is still somewhere in between. But Tarpey and Orrin Edwards are like assistant coaches for me, and they're my signalers, and they do everything, and they correct scripts, and they help us on game day. And having those two guys, people don't even know who those two guys are, and how valuable they are to Miami football success, not just the quarterback success, but the whole football team success. So it's a really deep room, and it's a really wonderful room with unbelievable young men that do so many different jobs for Miami football. And again, depth. You need in this league, you need in every league, and at that position, it's very important. We feel like we have more bullets in that gun than we've ever had.
Yeah, and I do want to ask you about the guys on the sideline, because everybody sees them, everybody knows what they're doing and that sort of thing. Teams go to great length to cover up what they're doing sometimes, but to have quarterbacks running that, getting the signs, you want to go fast. They've got to hear it in the headset. They've got to signal it in and get it all in under hopefully about 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, and under duress of the game. Like, it's tough to coach in games. You know, you've been coaching for a long time. There's still stress in the game. You're at Kentucky. It's an incredible environment. It's loud. You're going to Miami, Florida. It's going to be loud, and it's going to be, and they're just college kids. They're not paid coaches. You know what I mean? For them to stay focused and all the stuff they're hearing from the crowd, from the sidelines, and to block that out and get the call from the box, relay it down the field. And again, if they're wrong, we're in bad trouble. So the job they do, they're invaluable. And then those guys just do so much more. They're as hardworking as anybody on our team, and they're leaders, and they do so much in practice for us. They do so much cleaning up scripts for us. If there's ever, even sometimes on game day, you call it wrong, a wrong hash, and they'll correct you because they're just they're literally like assistant coaches. So awesome to have and invaluable.
All right, head coach Chuck Martin talking about the quarterbacks. In our next position preview, we will talk about the Miami linebacking core here on MiamiRedHawks.com.